Have you ever wondered how to unlock every badge in Peak? Well, this video serves as a one-stop shop, whether you want to be a completionist and do everything in the game, unlock just the cosmetics that you want, or simply browse your options. Well, this isn't just another surface-level guide that only reads the game's description. I will cover the specifics on how to get everything, even providing tips and clarification if it gets confusing. So, let's begin. Starting off with the most straightforward badges, where you have to complete every stage in the game, I'm going to give one quick tip and what cosmetic you unlock for each one. So first up we have the Shores biome, and honestly it serves more as the game's tutorial than a difficult area, but use this biome more like a prep phase and slowly make sure you open every luggage and gear up for the next maps. By lighting the campfire you earn the Beachcomber Badge and Straw Hat. Now for the Tropics, which can be arguably the hardest map in the game. Everything is out to eliminate you, and that includes the food. Watch out for the yellow kingberry, pink berry nana and green crispberry, as they can all end your run. But maybe save the scorchberry for the next biome, as the burn it gives can help you defrost. And you earn the Trailblazer Badge and Pith Helmet. In the Alpines, the cold is a fast-acting and dangerous threat. But if you are with teammates, it becomes easy to recover from. After taking shelter from the storms, stand next to your friends to thaw out fast, earning you the Alpinist Badge and Aviator Cap. In the Caldera, it may look like you have to just hop from rock to rock over and over again, but this is actually misleading. If you pay attention to the lava, it actually acts more like water, with high and low tides. Wait for it to get to a low point to run across and reach a previously inaccessible rock, earning you the Volcanology Badge and Tropical Outfit. And in the last area, the Kiln, you are really tested on how prepared you are. Bring only the best items such as anti-rope, energy drinks and lollipops, as well as one food item to make it easier. After reaching the peak and lighting the flare, you will earn the Peak Badge, giving you the Stetson hat. Okay, so now that we are finished with the basic biome-specific badges, what about the standard ones? Well, first up, we have the Cooking Badge, and it will give you the Chef's hat. This badge requires you to cook 20 items in a campfire, but there are ways to do this extremely easily. When you spawn in, pick up your bag and any light objects you can find, such as flares or crispberries. And after that, just climb to the top of the shore biome. Going up to the campfire, while it says to cook 20 items, it doesn't specify foods. So after you cook all of the lightweight items, unequip your bag and cook it. And you can even cook the free item given by the statue along with the marshmallow they give you. This should be around 10 items, so you only have to do it 1 to 2 more times. Then we have the Bouldering Badge, which gives you the starry eyes. This badge requires you to place 10 pitons, but sadly this cannot be cheesed. But there are some general tips I can give to make this take way less time. First of all, this doesn't have to be all in one play session. If you choose to, you can do this all casually and get it done. But the better option is to instead seek out as many luggages as possible. And most importantly, always place it down. If it's in your inventory when you fall, it won't count, so if you think you won't use it, just place it in any random spot to get progress on the quest. And now we are on to the Toxicology Badge, which gives you the Vampire Fangs. This badge wants you to heal 200 points of poison damage, which luckily doesn't have to be in the same match. If you want to complete this easily, just look for these 4 items: a first aid kit, cure-all, medicinal root, and of course an antidote, which can all be found in luggages except for the medicinal root. Now that you have the healing items, if you are at the shore biome, step on some jellyfish or touch the sea urchins to get poisoned and heal from it. Or if you are in the tropics, touch the spiked roots, green exploding bush, or purple poisoning plants. And if at any point you happen to get a Pandora's lunchbox, it can actually help you finish this badge, since it both heals and gives you a random status effect after every use. Then for the Foraging Badge, you get the Tongue Mouth. This badge requires you to eat 5 different berries in one run, and most importantly, this doesn't count the variants such as a yellow and red crispberry as separate. But if you do this carefully, you can still get this badge done in only 2 regions. First of all, at the shore, eat a crispberry, then immediately go to the Tropics biome. Now, this is where the majority of the berries are, where you can find the berry nana on vines, kingberry on trees, scorchberries on bushes, and technically eating ticks count as a berry too. But if you are unable to get one, just go over to the alpine biome where winter berries spawn plentifully on the trees, and this should total a minimum of 5 different berries eaten. Then we have the Esoterica Badge, which gives the Wizard Hat. For this badge, you have to obtain a mystical item, where there are 2 primary methods to do so. First of all, you can open luggages, which has a very small chance to give one. But this is generally an unreliable way to do it. If you see an ancient luggage, don't hesitate to open it. At the cost of some of your health, you will get a guaranteed mystical item. But if you make it to the campfire without anyone passing out, the statue near the campfire gives a guaranteed mystical item, which is honestly the way most people beat this quest, without even realizing it. And now we have the Lone Wolf Badge, which gives you the wolf ears. And to obtain it, you need to escape the island solo, and this means you must start and end the match alone, not just escape by yourself. And overall, this is one of the most difficult badges in the game, so here are some general tips to make it easier. First of all, if you are struggling, try it in Tenderfoot, as it still allows you to get the badge while lowering stamina use. And always try to play carefully. Remember that there are no revives, so after scouting out your path and noticing it's impossible, simply turn around and find an alternative route. It may take longer to reach the peak, but there are no second chances in a lone wolf run. Also, this doesn't have to necessarily be completed in a single day. If the map is too difficult, you can always just try again tomorrow after it resets. And if possible, try to pack light until the final area, as they can all be completed by normal climbing. It's just a matter of finding the correct route. Then we are onto the Balloon Badge, which is extremely difficult, and it gives you Russell's outfit. For this badge, you have to escape the island without taking fall damage, which is honestly harder than it sounds. Kind of like the Wolf Badge, the key is to be patient and go slowly. If you notice unnecessary risks, just turn around and find another way. And if it's too hard, just wait for the map to reset the next day. But this can definitely be easier with teammates. Just be the last in the pack and carry basically nothing to maximize your stamina, making your teammates carry all of the required supplies. And while they try out the climbs, just sit back and wait for them to show it's possible, and maybe ask them to set up a rope just in case. Now we are onto the Leave No Trace Badge, which gives you the incognito face. For this badge, you have to reach the peak without placing anything on the mountain. This specifically includes the portable stoves, ropes, chains, pitons, and even the launchers, which means that you're basically going to have to climb normally the whole way. And if you are playing with friends, this applies to the whole server, meaning that if anyone places something down, the badge becomes impossible to earn for everybody. But you can use the natural platforming tools such as shelf shrooms and magic beans without breaking the badge's rules. For the Speed Climber badge, you get the Messenger Cap, and to obtain it, you need to finish the game in under an hour, which basically means you have to speedrun the game. This requires you to play it on Tenderfoot, as the stamina losses in other game modes make you lose too much time, and the real way to complete this would be analyzing the paths and memorizing them. If you are lucky, you will be able to get it done on the first try, but chances are it may take a few runs to simply learn the map correctly. Just try to find a path that can be completed with very little equipment usage to ensure RNG doesn't play a huge part, but there is a potential way to cheese this. As I heard, joining another player mid-game actually starts you with 0 time on the clock, meaning you can join a friend who is nearly completed with their run and clear the last stage with them to get the badge. Then we are at the Bong Badge, which gives you the propeller hat. And to complete this badge, you simply have to escape the island with Bing Bong. This means that you first must go to the crashed plane section on your left and pick up Bing Bong and carry him through the entire game, eventually extracting with him on the peak. This badge isn't honestly too bad on Tenderfoot, with the only disadvantage being some added weight and the loss of an item slot. But the great thing about this badge is that it applies to your entire team when completed. So as long as the carrier makes it alive to the helicopter, you have completed it. Now, for the Naturalist Badge, you get the Flower Garland. And to get it, you need to escape the island without eating any packaged food. This is pretty easy to avoid, as you basically have to ignore any foods found in luggages and just rely on natural fruits. So what you should avoid includes the trail mix, granola bar, scout cookies, sports drink, airline food, energy drink, and big lollipop. But what it doesn't include is the Pandora's lunchbox and marshmallows. So in the endgame, you must prepare and fill your backpack with natural foods, as the kiln is the only area without any food sources, especially since you can't rely on the luggages they throw at you right before you go inside. Then we are at the Gourmand Badge, which gives you the monster eyes and mouth. For this badge, you have to escape the island after cooking and eating a coconut, honeycomb, winterberry, and egg, where finding and successfully cooking it makes it one of the more annoying quests in the game. First, you need to get a coconut, which can be easily found on the shore atop palm trees, and can even be cooked on the plains wing. After that, you need to go to the tropics, where after spotting a beehive, you have to throw it, steal a honeycomb, then cook it at the campfire. Then you make your way to the Alpines, where you can either be lucky and find a yellow winterberry on a tree, or try and spot the smoke coming from the capybaras for a guaranteed spawn, and of course, cooking it at the fire on top of the mountain. After that, you have to go to the caldera, where atop some of the rocks are bird eggs, where after being thrown, give you the egg that you can cook at the end of that level. Then, finally, after doing all of that, you have to still reach the peak to complete it. Otherwise, you have to redo the entire process from step 1. And now, we are onto the Mycology Badge, giving you the mushroom cap. For this, you have to eat 4 different non-toxic mushrooms in a single run. These mushrooms can be found easily throughout the shore and tropics biome, so I will help you distinguish which ones are safe to eat. The chubby shrooms are completely safe, and you don't have to think twice about eating them. For the cluster shrooms, if they are completely smooth, they are safe. But if they have these little umbrellas in the middle, it is poisonous. Then, for the bugle shrooms, if the inside is smooth, it's safe. But if it has a lot of flaps, it will damage you. And finally to the button shroom, where if it has an X on top, it is safe, and if it has spots, it's dangerous. So now that you know which ones to find, it's just a matter of getting lucky enough to find them all in a single run. Then to the Survivalist Badge, which gives you the Scoutmaster's outfit. To complete this badge, you need to escape the island without ever losing consciousness. What this refers to is the knocked state you are in after receiving too many status effects or damage. And overall, this is extremely easy to obtain. Just be careful, watch your health, and don't fall. But chances are you might complete this badge without even realizing it. And as a final warning, watch your use of the big lollipop and energy drink, because they can make you sleepy, and never eat the napberry as it will instantly knock you out. Next, we have the Animal Serenading Badge, giving you the krill hat. And to do this, you have to play a bugle at the capybaras in the Alpines. So first, you have to get the bugle, which can be easily found on the nose section of the plane crash. From then on, you have to travel to the Alpine biome and find the capybaras. To find them, there are 2 main ways, with one of them being way easier. The first method is looking for it from a distance, where after approaching the mountain, there is a chance you see the moving smoke particles. But this is very unreliable. Or you can look on the official Peak Wiki, press on the bottom capybara button, and see its location every day. Then, after you finally make it to the pool, all you have to do is play the bugle at it. Also note that if you lose your bugle, it can still be completed with either the Bugle of Friendship or Scoutmaster Bugle, which are both mystical drops. Then to the Arborist Badge, which gives you the realistic eyes. To complete this badge, you are required to reach the top of one of the massive trees in the tropics, which honestly isn't too hard. And there are really 2 ways to do this. First of all, there is a high likelihood that the tree is on a cliffside, and sometimes, if you are lucky, you can just climb up the rocks to reach the top of the tree. The second way is to climb it how the game probably intended you to. This means going from branch to branch, hoping you have enough stamina, and at some points you may even be required to use a piece of equipment to make it. Just keep a lookout for whenever it spawns near a cliff, because that's your best bet at completing this badge. We are now at the Mentorship Badge, which gives you the inverted eyes. To complete this quest, you have to encounter the Scoutmaster, which can be done in 2 different methods, with the easiest involving a friend. To do it, just tell the other player to stay at spawn as you try to climb the shore alone. When you are around 200 meters above, he will eventually spawn and chase after you, completing the badge. But if you want to play it solo, or if you happen to get incredibly lucky, you can open the ancient statues to get the Scoutmaster Bugle, which summons him. But, as an important note, only the host of the server will get this achievement, even if he chases someone else. Next up is the Knot Tying Badge, which gives you the ribbon bow. For this badge, you need to place or deploy 100 meters of rope in a single run. So basically, you need to search every single luggage that you can find. Whenever you do get a rope, just roll it out completely, and it should be 12.5 meters long. So you need to completely use 8 whole ropes, which is honestly a lot. But if you find a rope launcher, it also counts for the badge, except for only 5 meters. But fortunately, the anti-gravity variants also count. With them, them having the same lengths as their respective counterparts. The High Altitude Badge gives you the headband. To complete this badge, you need to climb 5,000 meters in total. For reference, the peak is just under 2,000 meters, so getting this badge will only take up to 3 runs if you're a good climber, and it tracks the height you climb for every run, so there is no need to stress about completing it since it's just a matter of playtime, and overall, this is one of the easiest badges in the game. Now for the Plunderer Badge, which gives you the eye patch. To complete this badge, you need to open 15 luggages in a single run, and you can get most of the progress in the shores due to the highly frequent luggage spawns. Then finish it up in the tropics biome. An important thing to keep in mind is that the luggage spawns actually don't change in that current map, so if you accidentally slip up, at least you know where the luggages are at. Also, if you are lucky, getting the pirate's compass is useful, as it will always point to the nearest luggage and help you finish the badge. Then we come to the Bookworm Badge, which gives you the broken glasses. For this badge, you need to read all of Scoutmaster Maya's journal entries, which total to 8. And this is a very time-consuming quest, as it will require a minimum of 8 runs to be completed. So how it works is every map rotation there is a set scroll spawn, and it will be at that location each run that you take. To find it every day, just go to the official game wiki and press the scroll icon, and they will mark it with a little symbol. And to get the badge, you need to pick up and inspect the scroll until you gather all 8 separate pages. As long as you are in the correct map, it will automatically unlock the highest available number and save its progress. So for page 1, you need to be in the shores, tropics, or alpines to get it. And as for page 2, page 3, and page 4, they have no map requirement and can be opened anywhere. For page 5, page 6, and page 7, you need to be in either the Alpine or Caldera biome, and the final page 8 must be opened in the Caldera biome. So let's say you get the scroll in the wrong map. Then all you would have to do in that situation is walk to where you want it to be and open it there. For the Endurance Badge, you get the Ninja Headband. To complete this badge, you need to climb 50 meters upwards without touching the ground, and this can be done in a few methods. First, you can use the Lollipop and Energy Drink, where after using both and going up a straight wall, you should get the badge. Or by using the Chain Launcher. If you shoot it as far and high up as possible, you can get it done extremely easily. But if you are lucky, this can be done for free in the Tropics biome with a long and high enough vine. And that finishes up the second section of the video that I dubbed as the Lone Wolf Badges, simply because of the fact that they could all be completed completely solo. But from here on out, these badges need at least one other player to be completed. Then to the Happy Camper Badge, which gives you the school uniform. To complete it, you need to receive a morale boost from 5 campfires. Whenever you have 1 or more players at a campfire, it has this special effect called a morale boost that will actually heal your health. So to gain progress, you have to ensure that you stay together with your team, or revive them at the statue and light it when they are all close. But this badge cannot be done in just one run. There are only 4 campfires in the map, that being the shore, tropics, alpines, and caldera. But the progress saves between runs, so you can also just technically reach the top of the shore 5 times and get this done. Now, we are at the Clutch Badge, giving you the Sailor's Hat. To complete this badge, you need to revive 3 scouts in a single expedition. To do this, go to the statue at the end of each stage and interact with it, respawning any players who have become ghosts. But you actually don't need 3 other players to do this. Instead, you can have one friend who becomes a ghost in the shore, tropics, and alpine, and after reviving them 3 separate times, you can get this badge done. Also note that as of this video's creation, the scout effigy does not count towards progress on this badge. For the First Aid Badge, you get the Medic Helmet, and to complete this, you need to heal your friends for 100 points worth of brute damage. And this is referring to the broken heart icon that appears after falling. Some items that give progress on this badge are bandages, medkits, medicinal roots, cure-alls, and winterberries, with the best item being the medkit, simply because it will heal 100 points of damage outright, meaning that if your friend falls from a good height, you can get this badge completed with 1 item. Just don't make the mistake of using the item on yourself and make sure to right-click. The Participation Badge gives you the Castaway outfit, and to complete it, you need to have a friend escape the island without you. What this means is that 1. or as many other players in the server, make it to the rescue helicopter and escape when you're not there. And there are two ways to fulfill this requirement. You could either be abandoned in the kiln with the rest of the players at the peak, or you could purposefully fall and be a ghost watching them extract. An important thing to keep in mind is that knocking yourself last minute won't let you get the badge. Now we are at the Emergency Preparedness Badge, giving you the sailor's outfit. To complete this badge, you need to heal an unconscious friend with an item which saves them, and this is very straightforward and easy to do. The unconscious state, of course, refers to whenever the player is unconscious by being burned, cold, poisoned, or hurt by blunt force. And to heal them from it, you just have to use its respective healing item. For blunt damage, you can use a medkit, bandage, or medicinal root. If they are poisoned, you can use an antidote. For being frozen, a scorchberry works, or an item like a heating pack or lantern. And for being burned, you can just use a water bottle. So that finally concludes this guide. If you made it this far, I thank you. And if you found this useful at all, please like for more videos just like this. And of course, leave a comment if you find any inaccurate or out-of-date information to help others.